sold that a 50% retracement of this move alone would be child's play, and that's 166. I think that's a very fair assumption. No, just because the rest of the market corrects doesn't mean all names correct. The if you look at the 10% correction that I called the bottom of in April and March, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Yeah. When money is positioned, it doesn't matter. Keep that in mind. I'll say it again. When money is positioned, it does not matter if the market's going through a correction. So when you have a name that is severely discounted, like Lululemon, like Nike, like Target was, and they are positioned to take that long, when a market corrects, they're not going to give a fuck. So if we compare Target to SPY with the 10% correction at the beginning of the year, right? Here you go. So here's the top. You can literally see the entire time SPY was crashing, Target just rallied. Higher highs, higher lows. They didn't care. At the top, Target was $100 a share. At the low, near the low, it had hit 125. It rallied 25% while SPY dropped 10%. Then as it reversed, it rallied 132. And then hit 143, and now it corrected. And now we're close to a buy zone, but no, even if there's a market correction, doesn't mean all names have to do it. Oh, the purple line was hit on SPY, boys. Or on QQQ, actually, sorry. So I'm closing my I'm closing my OD my same days, but the idea here is that we keep rallying. We'll see. Just like a meaty. A little bit of a head and shoulder setting up on MSTR. You know what? Let me close that fully. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm actually going to take a lotto to the downside with a little bit of profit I just made. I'm just going to buy one. You know, a little $100 put. Oh no. Bow, bow, bow. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to go get a drink. And then I'll continue hanging out with you guys. I'm streaming. Oh. Speaking of Celsius. QQQ just breaking right above that. Okay. All right, guys, give me a second. I'm taking my lotto short. Let's do. Let's do 247s. There we go. All right. Sunny days. No problem, Thomas. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I got to figure out how to produce content. I've been anti social media like most of my life, but it's very stupid of me to not, considering I have a skill. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, sorry. Got to give an update, guys. Give me a second. All right, guys. 749, bullish above it for a full recovery. Got to get above it. I'm going to press my little short button, though, just in case. I never press that button. I don't know why that keeps popping up. And that price range. Yeah. NBO. Okay, let's take a look. Sit my ass down. Ooh, squeeze. SPY, but is everything else coming with it? Let's take a look. Oh man, always regret closing those. Whatever. I'm gonna laugh. It won't do a full round trip. Okay. So statistically, I put this. Let's look up QQQ. QQQ was negative 2%. So I'm gonna say the most they can go as a recovery is like negative 80, negative 0.8. So around negative 0.8, I'm gonna get really skeptical if we rally that much. Like in all the fucking times I've looked, I think maybe like once or twice in like 20 years has it done a full blown reversal of like more than negative 2%. And it took a catalyst, like a news catalyst in real time. It's not going to just like randomly do a reversal. This is a squeeze because of all the late shorts that were jumping in. They got to punish them. All right, though. Where are they at though? All right. All right, NBO. So I'm going to clean up my chart over here. Guys. Danny, you love these names, bro. What are you doing? Have you not been punished enough from Chinese names? you fuck. What is that name? What's the name? You're a what's the name of the person that likes inflicting self-harm? That's driving me nuts. I can't think of the fucking word. You're a it'll come to me. You're a I can't believe I can't think of it. I love playing that game. All right. Anyways, bruh. You see, this is a one big fuck you. This is a fuck you. That's what that is. That's a never get in this name again. That's what that chart looks like. With that being said, you have monthly supply right here. So it's also rejecting it as we speak. But you have to realize that anyone that's bought since 2024 is underwater, and they're underwater bad. So it's going to take a big change in structure to fix this one. Let's play ball. Let's play ball before I talk too much shit. Because there it is sitting on the gold line, and you know I love that. Okay. So no support, no love for the 1 week. Let's try the 2 week. No love. I mean, you can see the band, the gold and purple band had been the trend since 1990, bruh. So it's finding support on the gold line, but that's not been anything impressive over its history, other than the respect of the 200-week moving average, right? So you can put some respect on that just because of it. But remember this phrase. Okay, I coined this. I made this phrase. The only technical or indicator that matters on the chart is the one that has proven itself. Okay, there's hundreds of them, and there's not a one-all be all. They all serve a purpose, and sometimes they work. The ones that work are the ones that prove themselves on that specific chart. So, in my opinion, the one factor that proved the bull trend for all those years was the blue line. Look how beautiful that was. Since 1990, if you bought at the blue line, which you only got a try like every decade, bro. Every decade. 1990, 2002, 2016. That was a 14-year gap before it touched that one. But every single time it touched it, did it not do exactly what you needed it to do? 1,000% rally. Touched it here, 2,600% rally. Touched it here, 860% rally. Look what it did. We're talking a 36-year bull trend has changed directions. I would go buy Lululemon or Nike. You gotta put some respect on it, bro. 36-year bull trend changed. Fuck that name. Oh, got the sell off. Anyone take those puts with me? The two things that if I was to teach anyone, I don't want to teach all y'all my shit because then you guys don't need me. But the things that matter the most is the only trend or the only technical or indicator that matters is the one that's previously proven itself on that specific chart. That is a God statement in trading. Okay. And then when it, I know you don't want it to be. Elon Musk has a famous quote. God, I'm going to butcher it. Let me Google it. I don't even want to butcher. I don't want to disrespect that man like that. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I didn't sleep last night. I've been up for like 35 fucking hours. My brain's fried. I have no like recall. I can't even think of the damn phrase. I can't even think of the name I wanted to call you earlier either. All right. Quick pulse check. Getting that little bit of rejection. Let's see what those puts are doing. Hmm, 10%. Oh, there we go. There's the drop. 16%. Okay. I will say, guys, let me refer to this because this is important. VIX is on high watch, on high watch in the month of July. All of you guys should keep this up. I don't know what is up with that, but anyways, there we go. Have it on high watch because this resulted in a big crash, and then you have this ascending support. Oh, U.S. oil. Let's look at U.S. oil. Let me do this update, guys. Sorry. Oh yeah, there you go. Look pretty for me. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Buy oil, guys. Intraday trade right now, and that's a counter trade to the market. Telling you right now, it's easy money. That's easy 10%. Buy a single option. Buy a $500 option. Buy it for September. Any more questions, guys? Let me go over Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm gonna laugh. I have a feeling. Let's see what SPY is. I have a feeling SPY goes green, and QQQ closes like around that negative 0.8 to negative 1% range. Easy money to be made there, guys. And it's a good counter trade too. Algo or XLM. Okay, I got you. Thomas, I did SoFi on my wall. If you want to take a look at that. I flawlessly called this. I don't even know if you saw that, but make sure you guys read my quoted posts anytime I quote them, because there's information there that's valuable, right? So like if you look at this, so on October 8th, 2025, I posted SoFi and I had a breakdown and I said 5-wave structure, it breached the all-time highs. The risk is to the downside. It's just, you got to realize that once it breaks that, you have the breakout traders, like they got to trap some people. So the risk was to the downside, especially like a look above and fell and then entering the seasonality. And sure enough, that high was like $28. Then you look at the update and I was right. The upside potential was 14%. Do you know what the downside was? Negative 53%. You always got to think in risk to reward, right? It's like, oh, it's going to breach all-time highs. Okay, well, you don't know how high it can go with all-time highs, and we're talking SoFi, right? Fucking lending company. But no, I don't even know anybody that uses them. It's an idea. It's a retail name. It's got an attractive name, so they're going to use it and pump it. So I called the top back then, and then you can see that there was a distribution phase for about 2 months. And then when they sold enough shares at the top, you see what happened next. Multiple weeks of just red, 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 all the way to negative 53%. Now, at a 5-wave structure, the most ideal place for a reversal and a bottom is the 61% retracement. You're looking at it. It's basing off that 61% retracement, right? At the $15 level. $15 level is also psychology, psych level. $15 is also the multi-day demand zone that I have highlighted in the purple. The 61% retracement is also the blue line that you can see had been the bull trend since 2024. So it is trying, the very least, to find a base here. I would be a little worried. Once again, it's like, guys, I can't express it enough. The biggest problem with most people is they're in too many names. Like I think it's a very safe bet to say that this touches that 38% fib at $21 a share. But dude, you have Tesla, you have Nike, you have Lululemon, you have MSTR that is a generational bottom if Bitcoin's not dying, and Bitcoin's not dying, at least not on fucking Trump's watch. Bitcoin is at a generational low. Like, you have all these names and you're going to waste your time in SoFi? There's not even a theme behind it. That's my thought process. Trade it, sure, go for it. I wouldn't put a huge amount in it. You know, I tell everyone around me in real life, you only need one retirement name, and that's Tesla. I would cash out your fucking 401k and I'd put every fucking dollar in it. And with a 5-year outlook, you'll be able to retire yourself in less than 10 years, no matter your age, right? If you put a lot of money into it, especially if it's a Roth and you can do options. But yeah, needless to say, I called the SoFi top flawlessly. I think this is a bottom, at the very least, a counter trend rally bottom. Could be to new highs. It should be to new highs since it's a 61% retracement into a 5-way structure. But you know, it, it looks a lot cleaner when it's something like Nike or Lulu, in my opinion, because I'm not just looking at chart structure, right? Like my bet right here is off the fibs, the 5-wave structure, and a little bit of demand. But this market cap is so small that this could easily be manipulated by one company, right? With my analysis with Nike and Lululemon, we're talking monthly chart indicators, which is a big difference between weekly and daily. It's a lot more um, effective and a higher probability of a successful outcome. I got to figure, okay, Algo, Azure. Okay, I did the SoFi. I can do Algo. I posted Algo too. Let's look. I think I did. Algo? Maybe I didn't. No, actually, no. I'm confused on what that damn name is. Interesting. Ooh. You bitch asshole. Okay. Strategy's not doing anything though. Tesla's not doing anything. See, this is a weak pump. I don't like that. Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin. That's nice. But I think this is a bait. I think this is a bait to make everyone bullish because they're going to take it the market even lower. Otherwise, they pump. Right, here's a nice entry on NEO with this back test, guys. Telling you, take a look at that NEO. I mean, obviously you don't want to put a lot into it because it doesn't have a really successful history of playing out. Okay, I'll talk about Bitcoin in a second. I think MSTR's bottom is in. I also am calling for Bitcoin's bottom to be in, but I think MSTR's bottom is in. I mean, you can literally see everything in crypto is going red, and it's literally staying green. Last week, it literally was green in a sea of negative 10% red crypto names. Like when they are positioned, they are positioned. You got to remember that. Anyways, Algo. Let's see this name. Is it Algo the crypto name? Are you talking Algo the crypto name? I'm just going to do XLM. I don't like that idea. What is this? Am I looking at the right shit? Are these crypto names? Bruh, you have me look at like trash stuff. Do better. Ant fam. Get out of both of those. Quit this trying to get rich quick scheme. Delete both of those from your watch list. Don't look at them again. Save yourself time, bro. Just learn how to trade effectively and be patient and trade names that don't fucking die as soon as the market gets questionable. All right. Let me make this very simple for you guys. Everyone pay attention. This is for Bitcoin. This is for crypto. This is a multi-part series. I'm going to say a lot. First and foremost, if you don't know my level of accuracy in Bitcoin, I've practically called every major pivot since 2022. If you doubt that, search my history. I make it well known. I do a lot of content where I literally show my proof of concept because that's how you get followers when you're a small account. Okay. There's the X community is quite divided with everyone deciding where Bitcoin goes. There's a very large amount of large accounts who believe we go up from here, and there's a very large amount of there's a large group of accounts with large. What the fuck am I saying, bro? Anyways, there's a bunch of accounts who have a large following both ways that they're pretty even. A lot of people think it's going up from here. Some people think it's going down from here. Like I think Cyclops is like a massive account. It's like 800,000 followers. He thinks we're going down. Let me put it in perspective for you. Okay. One is without a doubt, Bitcoin is not going under 40K if Bitcoin is to succeed. Remember the second half of that. If Bitcoin is to succeed, it is not going under 40K. Under 40K, it's a failed asset. The level of wealth destruction will be far too great. No one will ever trust it again. Just make it simple. It's not going under 40K if it's to succeed. If it goes under 40K, it never sees an all-time high again. Okay, now that that's been said, even if we are to go lower, the stress, the confusion, the distraction of trying to time the bottom at a perfect level is too much. You know, if your goal is to get rich, you need to have a strategy of when to buy and then spend the rest of your time trying to make as much money as you can in other ways and then just keep buying, right? Rather than you just wanting to buy the bottom, and then when you go to buy the bottom, you're scared to put all the money in that you have because you don't know if it's the bottom, and then you just end up missing. And then from where you bought in too early or something like that, then you're down and you're emotional and you trade it wrong and you don't wait. There's just so many things that play into effect. So let me make it simple for you. I posted 2 pieces of content on X, and you can check both of these to refer them. One is if you historically bought Bitcoin in the middle of June, if you started DCAing Bitcoin in the middle of June of every single year, guys, every single year, historically, you have like an 80% win rate since the creation of Bitcoin. So if you just, in the middle of June, started buying every week, you are at a cost basis on the lower end of where the price range goes into the end of the year, and you make money. Okay, that's one. We're just talking June, every single year, DCA. Now, if you look at this chart, this is quite simple. We're on the weekly chart, and this is the 200-week moving average. Since the beginning of crypto and Bitcoin, anytime we've broken below the gold line, and if you DCA'd and started buying every day and every week, your cost basis would be extremely close to the absolute bottom. If a name is going up 200 to 300%, it doesn't matter if you're 20% away from the bottom, guys. What matters is you got as much money in there as possible, and you did it with a level, clear thinking head. Okay? If you started DCAing in 2015, you barely had any weeks to do it. And then it had a generational bull run. In 2019, it barely tapped it, right? Spent barely any time here, a couple weeks. And then we had another generational bull run. Then we had COVID crash, broke below it for a measly 2 weeks. People were scared. During COVID, they were scared. The world's ending. There's a virus that's killing everyone. I'm scared. Maybe it goes lower. I won't buy. And then all of a sudden it goes and reclaims it, and then you missed out on your buying opportunity because you didn't have a plan, right? What happened next? Generational bull run. What happened in 2022? Oh, this is what everyone's talking about. Oh, it went way lower than the 200-week moving average, and it did it for multiple months. Okay, sure, it did for 6 months, but imagine this. Imagine how much little money you were able to make in these opportunities because it didn't spend enough time under there. This one was the time that you could have went for 6 months and put all your savings in there, and this would have been the retirement trade because you had enough time to get enough in, right? All these other ones, you had weeks in fast decision making. This one, you had 6 months to get in as much as possible. And then you had this rally, right? What was that rally for? 685%. You know, 685%, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to be made. So keep it simple. When you are under the gold line, you buy. You don't think. You rationalize. You put in like 15, 20 to 30% up front, and then you DCA daily or weekly. We broke below it. We're immediately attempting to reclaim it. You've had a month of DCAing. Probably the majority of you guys didn't DCA, but you've had a month of opportunity to DCA under the gold line, which is around 61K. Okay. That's what I would do, right? There is this Head and Shoulders. This is very fearful. There's a Head and Shoulders that was over here. The odds of this playing out, for this to play out, it will take a centennial event. It will take an economic event. So just watch the economy. If a curveball comes, then you know what's most likely going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen. If this is happening, America's going to be in rough shape. And realistically, we have Trump and we have somebody who likes to print money. So as long as we don't have stagflation, I think we're good. But ideally, I would be DCAing. Okay, so that's a clear, level-headed strategy on what you should be doing if you are a fan of crypto. If you want to invest in crypto, right? You should be buying now. I'm not saying put it all in at once. DCA is always the best strategy because if it goes lower, it goes lower. Okay, at least you have money to keep adding. If you are a fan of crypto, if you believe in crypto, if you believe in Bitcoin, under 61K is a DCA's dream. Okay, so that's that. That's as far as buying Bitcoin. Now let's talk about psychology and why I think it's possible. We've bottomed already. So my thesis, I called the top of Bitcoin in October, November. Posted all about it, warned about it even in September. And my thesis, even back then, was a bottom between June and September of this year. We are in July. We are in that bottoming range of time frame for my thesis. Okay. My thesis has also been 45K to 60K. We broke into that range. All right. Now, my base case was around 52K. We could see 52K, but I think there's a level of psychology here that people aren't really taking into consideration, and it's a big deal. And it is the prediction market. The prediction market is growing rapidly, and it's already a multi-$100 billion business. So there's a lot of money to be made on that market. Well, the thing is, if it is a prediction based on a stock movement that Wall Street can control, they can play both sides. So you have to think about this psychologically, right? There's a lot of debate about how low Bitcoin's going to go. What's not up for debate at this point is everyone believes that it's following the four-year cycle. Everyone believes it's following the 4-year cycle, which means everyone thinks it's going to bottom in the next couple months by the end of the year. Okay, if everyone thinks that, if Wall Street lets all the retail get in, then who are they going to sell to? They can't have that. They need you to chase. They need to cause uncertainty. They need you to not buy. Then they need to move it up, and they need you to sell, or you to buy, and then them sell it to you. Because if they just let every fucking retail buy in, who the fuck is going to buy their shares? Right? So, with that being said, The longer they wait, the more retail is going to stack in to Bitcoin, and it's going to be a crowded trade. And the crowded trade never wins, ever. Right? So the more probable outcome is it be sooner, not later. Because there's a lot of famous accounts saying, oh, like I think even that Cyclops guy is like, if you all you have to do is just wait till October and then buy. Well, if you wait till October and it's already at 90K, what do you do then? That's the more ideal outcome. There's also a 70% bet that Bitcoin hits 50K before 100K on Kalshi, the prediction market. So if there's 70% of people are betting on it hitting 50K first, the counter trade to that is a lot of money. So why wouldn't Wall Street make money on the prediction market by it not getting to 50K and then rallying it early, not allowing retail to get in early, and then they chase? I think the most profitable trade is for them to run it, rally it early, not let retail get in fast enough, and then manipulate the prediction market because they can manipulate Bitcoin. I think that's the most profitable trade for Wall Street. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what is happening. Now, given if the economy goes to shit or something like that, we can sweep that low. And if we sweep that low, it's okay. But I made a post that I think it's very, very possible that that 57,700 was the bottom. And so far, it's acting to be so. We'll know within the next 45 days because it'll have to sweep that low within 45 days. But even if we go lower, it's not a big deal. Keep DCAing. But I would have a lump sum into your names that you believe in, because if this is the bottom, then we're going to start accelerating quickly because they don't want you to get in. And just like a Tesla trade, I don't know if you guys follow Tesla or if you know the Tesla personality, but they will keep that thing compressed until they're ready to rally, and then they will move that bitch 80% within 40 days, and they won't let it pull back until the trade is done. They'll rally it for 80% in 40 days, and then the trade's done, and they'll literally sell it into you all the way back down. All right, so that's that. Now, I showed you the gold line. Now let me show you the purple line of why my original thesis was around 52K. You can see that it acted as the band. If you have both these on here and you treated it as a band, it always went between both these price points. In 2022, it hit the purple line. The purple line is around 51K. It's also the bottom of the Head and Shoulders. So my base case was this purple line to get hit this year. That actually was my base case. I'm starting to have a change in thesis just because of the prediction market, and so many people are anticipating it going lower. I could be wrong. It could go lower, but I don't even consider that being wrong. My range is 45 to 60K, and I think you should buy in between it and DCA if you are a believer in Bitcoin. All right. So your question is, would you buy Ethereum or Bitcoin? Well, last cycle, it taught you a lesson that not everything has to rally. Bitcoin made multiple all-time highs. Ethereum did not. I would say I would buy MSTR before I'd buy Ethereum. It's probable that Ethereum still rallies really hard. I made a post. You can review the analysis, but I think it bottomed too. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think it bottomed too, but once again, it was punishing being in the wrong trade all that time for the people that was obsessed with Ethereum, But to keep it simple, quick analysis for Ethereum is it's the 2-week chart. You can see at the 2-week chart and the 37 RSI. Watch this, guys. This is very, very valuable stuff. The 2-week RSI on Ethereum is the God indicator, in my opinion. What this has shown is a weekly close at the 37 level and a V-shaped reversal look with a candle close, creating that V look has presented the bottom of every bear market since the beginning of Bitcoin or of Ethereum. So let's backtest this. So in 2018, you have the breach of 37, you have the V reversal with the green weekly candles, and this marked the bottom of the 2018 bear market. What did it do? It rallied 355% in 200 days, had a wave 2 correction, and then rallied 5,000%. In 2022, it breached the 37 low, gave you the V reversal look, and rallied for 138% in less than 80 days, and eventually rallied 490% after a wave 2 correction. In 2025, it breached the 37, gave us the V reversal, and then rallied 255% in 140 days. We are there again. And then Sunday night, the 2-week candle closed on July 5th, giving us the V reversal look as every single one of these times. You guys see that. Pay attention to that. It gave us the V reversal that marked the bottom of every bear market since the beginning, since the creation of Ethereum. Now, let's add a little bit more. Let me show you one more thing, guys. This is also at the ascending support since COVID lows. We're talking 6-year ascending support since the COVID low. Guys, pay attention to that, okay? 6-year ascending support, COVID low. All throughout 2020, it rode it from March to December, which is like, what is that, 9 months? And then we went to the parabolic rally. 2022 bear market, tapped it, right? Tapped it, bull market. Bottom and then bull market. 2025, tapped it, bottom, bull market. We've been basing there for multiple weeks. We have a bullish reversal candle. We have 3 bullish candles. 1 bottom wick capitulation candle, right? Look at this. The highest volume bar in the area, marked every single bottom. There's always one before. If you guys look at this, right? The absolute bottom, it was the capitulation candle before it had the highest volume. The highest, the absolute low, the capitulation volume candle right before it. Highest bottom, this one actually wasn't, but that's fair enough. And then this bottom had the capitulation candle. With this analysis that I just gave you guys, this is my bias of why I think crypto has bottomed. Ethereum is telling us, based on history, with 100% accuracy, that Ethereum has bottomed for 2026. And if this is to play out, by the end of the year, we see 100% plus move in Ethereum. By the end of this year, I think we bottomed. I'll leave it up to you. Tesla. Tesla is one of those things that you just keep DCAing. In my opinion, Tesla should be the largest account position in every single person's account ever. You don't bet against the mind of Elon Musk. The man owns $8 billion companies. He is the world's first trillionaire. He has a photographic memory, guys. And not only does he have a photographic memory, he is good at physics and engineering, and he has common sense. That is amazing. Most people that have photographic memories are fucking retards and have no common sense. So it's like, if you're not a trader, if you make Tesla your largest position, you just wait for the next cycle. If it takes 5 years, it takes 5 years. Who cares if it takes 5 years if you're fucking retired at 30 or 40? You want it to take 5 years because if you only have a measly 25K in the damn name, how do you expect to retire? You need to put 5 years of savings into that name. You need to put 3 years of savings into that name. That's how you retire. Like, I don't get this, the impatience of some people, right? Like if you believe in a name and you believe in the outcome of the name or the company, like, no, I don't think anyone doubts where Tesla's heading. It's just the timing. It's like, oh, do I want to miss out on opportunity for 4 years? It's not missed opportunity if you literally are able to get $250,000, $300,000 into the name. and then it rallies 2,000%. Then you got 2 mil plus. You know what I mean? With that being said, the purple line is the God trend. If it goes to 260, I would buy it with everything. I would go to the bank. I would refinance my house. I'd pull up the equity of my home and I would go get a fucking line of credit. And I would buy it. I did it here and I made 400K from 25K. If it goes to this 260 area, I would not only use all my funds, I would literally borrow as much money from the bank as possible because fuck them and I'll take their money and make it. All right, guys, moment of truth. Moment of truth. SPY is attempting to break above the 749. Look at that. You saw resistance. You see it break above. Look at this little back test support. Put some respect on that name. Ooh, that's why. Okay. Okay. You guys see that, right? It's the 5-minute purple line that it wants. It's pursuing. It's trying to bleed up above it. That's going to get walked down. Let's go ahead and get that on the board real quick. Ooh, there you go. That's already broke through and back tested it. Sorry, guys, I'm going to add one more lotto just in case. Okay. Bitcoin is literally green after, what was it, negative 3%? My level's holding nice and true. 2%. You guys see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 green candles after the 3 white soldiers. Gotta do an update, guys. Sorry, give me a moment. By the way, when we rally, I think this is what we rally to. You guys see the descending resistance? 70K-ish? That'll be the first stop. We need to look at the 10 and 30 year in the dollar. I haven't looked at that actually in like over a week. So let me do that when I finish doing this really quick, guys. forgot how many fucking candles this was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we are. See that breakdown back test, guys? Pay attention. Oh, I got greedy there, guys. I just sized up on my short. I should not have done that. Intraday trading, you don't do it as a day trader. God, I gotta stop doing that. That's my biggest mistake with my ADHD ass. There it goes, bottom wicking. Okay, what are we doing? If you have time, yeah, I got time, man. I'm literally just hanging out with you guys. Just don't give me fucking microcap names. Do you say into Amazon? Okay, I'll do Amazon and EL. Oh, give me a second, boys. I gotta let me do this micro trade really quick. Pay for my dinner tonight. Moment of truth, guys. You see it trying to respect that purple line? Ooh, that's looking like 5 waves. Oof, they all are. Interesting. Oh, that's the 23. 23 and me. No, go to 747, please. 747, please. Pretty please. Okay. Let's check. Still really bad market breadth, guys. I'm not sold on this rally. I think we got lower in this week. Just gonna withhold that. Okay. Amazonian. All right, guys. So make sure you always, when you have these names, because I regularly update the names. So there's like 20 names I'll do an update on, and I will literally quote the previous analysis and update every week. So you can literally thumb through an entire analysis of a specific name like Amazon, because I've been doing Amazon, and just see my point of view throughout the last 2 weeks, because that's when I just came back from X. But essentially, let's go top down. Okay, this is, so I don't like the monthly candle being reddish right now, but that's also for July. So if we rally strongly, then that could be saved. The MACD on the weekly is also red. That's not favorable. Forgot to turn these babies on. Historically, though, you can see this area has marked the bottom of Amazon many a times, as long as a deeper correction is not happening. Sometimes it can do it, but as soon as you get down here, once we get that V-shaped reversal, which it got last week, once it creates a V below this level, it's marked bottoms every single time. So that's a very bullish look, in my opinion. That says a lot. Now, given you have the deeper retracements in 2025, and then this one that caused some mayhem, but ultimately, they found support at key levels. So that's the weekly. With RSI, I don't see anything. Okay, right here. So there's a couple of times that the daily MACD, the crossover at this level, the support level, has been favorable, but it's not consistent. So you guys that have been here for the last hour, you guys have seen me use this as an example or as an indicator of trade, of value on 2 other charts. I don't find value here because it's not consistent. Out of the last 6 times, this was a tradable bottom, but it ultimately went lower. Tradable bottom. This one was a fake out, so that one was bad. That one was a major bottom. This one was a fake out. This one was a fake out. Eventually went higher, but so that could. Now let's go to the chart, and the chart's just ugly as fuck. It's been sideways since 2024 essentially, barely making higher highs, higher lows. So historically, all right, this is what I see. Historically, you got the gold and purple band, which since 2024 has acted as support, except the major corrections, right? So between the gold and purple, if you bought, next rally. If you bought, it made a lower low, which, you can have an eject button too, right? So for example, when you bought this, if once it broke under this, you should have just sold. If you sold, then you could have gotten the next leg down. Broke above it, back tested it, rallied. Supported, broke below it. Once it got under the purple, you just eject button, sell it, right? Then once it started basing, you could have been like, okay, now I'll try to re-enter, especially with this inverse head and shoulders. You see that beautiful inverse head and shoulders? Man, that's sexy. Oh, that was a head and shoulders too. Inverse head and shoulders. Anyways, rallied, broke below it, and now you have this support. So if you would have known this and had this measured on your chart, you could have known to buy this down here. And if you would have known that to buy this down here, then you would already be up pretty significantly. But that's the idea. It's like, here's your eject button. Do you want to buy? Go for it. 224 is your eject button. Start printing price under 224, you sell it, you close it. Don't get greedy. Make it simple. No emotions. You don't need emotions. You have chart history to tell you exactly what happens next. On that note, you also accept and acknowledge that there's an inverse head and shoulders building out. So if the market goes bullish, I think Amazon is going to assist in pushing that narrative. I think it might help carry that narrative. On the upside, I talked about it hitting this supply zone. We got a hard rejection, but given the green daily candle closes, I think we're going to grind higher into this next supply zone of 252 to 257. I think that's coming. It's going to come. Just a matter of time. So just give it a moment, let it play out. That'll happen. If it can clear this 256, this is going to be a big deal. This is when things get really bullish as it gets back above the majority of shares traded for the last few months, right? If you can get, especially just above 250, to be honest, if you look at this, just look left. If you get above 250, you're above the majority of the shares traded over the last 6 years. Very little shares have been traded above 250. Realistically, the only time it got above 250 was a look above and fell. Looked above it, said, nah, sold off. So this is a big line in the sand. This means it's very possible it could even be rejected here because you can see rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, got initial rejection here. So just be mindful until we get above this, there's risk of a sell off. So just be mindful of that, to be honest. That's new information as I said it and as I saw it. 250 is a line in the sand. So you got to be mindful of that. And then realistically, you need to really be mindful of this. If you know Elliott wave theory, this is the scary part. That looks like 5 waves. If that's 5 waves, you're looking at a 50% retracement. If you're looking at 50% retracement, you're looking at 251. The most probable outcome is for a rejection here. And if that is a rejection, you're looking at a nasty sell-off for a wave 3. Or a wave C if it's 2 5-wave structures for an ABC. So in my opinion, after doing this all in front of you right now, I'm bearish below 256. I'm extremely bearish below 256. Extremely bearish. So the closer you get to that, your risk to reward is to the downside. And not only a little bit of a downside. If that's a wave 2 and this turns into wave 3, that's a nasty sell-off coming. Maybe one that looks like this. And you saw what happened to this one. What kind of drop is that? 20%. I think that next one would be worse. If that's a wave 3, it'll be worse. So on Amazon, you got it. Whoever bought this got a nice little rally out of themselves. I'm extremely bearish below 256. Your buy zone is this double block, order block right here, this demand zone right here. You can buy here. If it breaks below the purple line, you sell. You know, down here, you're close enough to this as a stop loss. Your risk to reward is much better down here than up here. Up here, you're near a probable top. And that's my analysis on Amazon. SPY is chopping sideways, destroying my little lottos. Tesla's trying to base. What else we got here? Alibaba is trying to do a little something, something. That Neo, man, I might take a little ad. Nah. Oh, wait. MicroStrategy, that looks like a Head and Shoulders developing. I think we might retest some of this low over here because it ate that demand from me yesterday or 2 days ago. Yeah, that fair value gap I feel like could be assaulted in the low 90s. If that happens, I think that's the bottom for the month. I think we go sayonara. Okay. I got EL and Kava. I just did a full analysis on NVIDIA. I do have to tell you, AntFam, I don't read earnings. I don't give a fuck about finance, like the earnings part of it. If I understand the idea, that's all I need. Like I'm really good at understanding psychology, how money moves, how people act, how people work, and then I'm really good at charting. The finance stuff, like it's these days, it doesn't even fucking matter half the time. I mean, you see it all the time with these shit companies rallying 500,000, 2,000%. As far as NVIDIA, though, I'll give you a quick um, fundamental perspective. NVIDIA's success has been derived entirely on being the foundation of AI growth. It's not AI itself, it's the foundation of AI growth. So, what that means is, as long as people are advancing towards AI and need and want to invest in the growth of AI, they are the foundation, they are the base. So, as long as that happens, their sales increase. You got to realize, though, it's up 4,000 fucking percent, something crazy. From its actually, let's do that. I want to compare the historic NVIDIA rally run versus the Tesla run. Let's do that. 2,200%. If fate loves irony, let's see. No. Yeah, no. Tesla said, hold my beer. What's this? All right, 4,000%. Serenity, one of these are 2,000. No, no. Tesla just straight up said, hold my beer. Said, nah, bruh. You have to watch the earnings and you have to watch like the decrease in acceleration because they're going to beat earnings for quite some time, but it's about that margin of beat, like as it starts to decrease. But I've never been the type of guy to. I mean, dude, my name's the bottom sniper. I don't buy things at the top. And once again, over the next 5 years, Tesla, always going to be Tesla. It should be the largest position and everyone's holding for the fucking obvious reasons. The only way that doesn't play out is if he gets murdered. Boy, y'all love these names. The fuck is this? No monthly time frame bullishness there. Let me see if my secret indicators got any clues for me. Nope. Nope. All right, man. As far as ill, I'm not impressed. That looks like an ABC, if I had to be honest. This probably is a little bit deeper than a 61%. It was a 78%. It's been dissected for how long? Is there any change in the? Yeah, I mean, the easy money to be made was this double monthly RSI bottom. This one was your easy money to be made, right? Like this gave you 152%. Now you're playing with fire. Okay, so the bottom to have had was this one in April of this year or last year. You know, that was your trade. That was the monthly time trigger trade. This time around, it rejected the 200-week moving average and fell off a cliff. And then most importantly, you can see that the gold line has been resistance, 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 support, resistance, and now resistance. So as simple as I can say it, bearish below the gold line of $93. Bearish below it, and that's a head and shoulders developing, which could just take you right back to the lows. And if it goes that looks like a 1, 2, 3. Actually, that looks so like a 5-wave structure. And that's also doing a wave 4 into wave 1. And then is that the 50% retracement? It is. Yeah. I mean, that's meeting all the levels of a Elliott wave, impulsive wave, which means downside. Bearish below 93, and that looks like a 5-wave structure, which means that I think that the all-time low was going to, or that 2025 low was going to get assaulted. Mara was able to be held down the entire last bull cycle. So at this, with that question, Danny, you want to factor in one part of the formula that's way more important than what you just asked. It's, are you willing to risk some percentage of profit for a margin of safety? And the answer should always be yes. So with that being said, MSTR. Could Mara have its time? I think it will. I really think it will. But MSTR could do some wild shit too. And one thing is for certain, the more expensive name is harder to manipulate. You know, if MSTR makes a new all-time high, it's going to be fucking nearly $1 trillion company. It's going to be a lot harder to be manipulated by one company or one hedge fund. Mara can literally be manipulated by BlackRock by themselves. And we saw that bullshit. I had a lot of opportunity cost in Mara the last cycle. Very annoying. The lines I'm using is moving averages, Jana, and you weren't here for this, but I'm going to give you my quote that will one day be famous. The only indicator or technical on a chart that matters is the one that's proven itself. There are hundreds of them. There's not a one all be all. There's not one God indicator that has 100% win rate. They all have their purpose and they all get their time every once and again. But the one that has the highest level of accuracy, the highest win rate, is the one that's already on that chart that has already proven itself. So I use and look at every single one of these analysis I'm doing for you guys. I'm looking at like 40 indicators. I'm just looking for chart history that proves one of them worked. And then when I find that one worked, now we have something to base analysis off of. Until then, if I don't see it, then I don't have an analysis for it. And if I don't see something juicy, then fuck that chart. Because you have nothing to base it off other than emotion and hopium. Okay. Let me check the market again, guys. Okay, Baba. Come on with your bitch ass. I think we see 105 by the end of the week. I really do. That damn gap up last night that got sold off. That was annoying. Okay, anyways, I got Kava. Ooh. Let's talk about Kava, guys. Have you guys ever eaten Kava? It's my fucking favorite protein bowl spot. And then, okay, boom. Oh, and fam, a little reference. If Nvidia rallies on the next earnings, dude, I would slowly DCA like 1 to 2% of your Nvidia holding and just put it into Tesla. That's what I would do. But obviously, it's up to you, man. But you know, the one that's going to have more success over the next few years will be Tesla. So if you just slowly do it while giving Nvidia its time to shine, but eventually that baton is going to be passed to Tesla. And I do believe by 2030, Tesla will be worth more than 2 to 3 of the mega caps combined. And this is fundamental. Like Tesla's the only company I follow the fundamentals on because it's my largest position and it will remain my largest position because it is the one company I believe in, and it's ran by a person I have a lot of respect for, and he's proven himself not only on like the business level but as just like a decent fucking human. So all right, let's see. We got Kava and then DEO. Oh my god, dude. Listen, Kava, guys. All right. So big protein guy. Everything I eat has to have protein in it. All right. I hate Chipotle. But Chipotle could literally be revamped if they would just implement like 5 bomb ass sauces. But it is what it is, right? But Kava, all right. So it's one of the places that you go to and you have to customize your bowl. Most people are a little conservative and they don't know how to build the bowl, but I like to cook and I like to chef it up and just mix shit together. So I'm not above it. So I've been to Kava a lot. I was eating like 2 to 3 times a week, especially because like if you download the app, when they first came out, dude, you could get like 8 bowls, and every 8th bowl, like you'd get a free fucking bowl, right? So then I would double chicken, and then I would always go to the same Kava place. So then they wouldn't even charge me for the extra chicken, and every 8th bowl I'd get a free bowl. And I mathed it out, dude. I was paying like $5 a bowl, which is like, I mean, my meal prep strategy is like $3 a bowl. So I'm like, what? I couldn't help myself. I was eating it all the time. But fire ass spot. If you ever go there and if you don't know what to get, at least try these sauces. My favorite combination is garlic dressing and scug. Garlic dressing is really good. Scug is like a light spice, like maybe a 1, 2 out of 10. But perfect combination, really good. At that point, it doesn't matter what you get on your bowl. That's the combination of sauces will do it for you. All right, now let me look at the chart. See what I did there? I sized up on my short lotto, and it literally reversed. And I knew it too. I should have just closed it out, but whatever. It's all good. It's just playing with profit today. Kava. All right. I went and drew this up, guys. Make sure you guys look. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can always go to the profile and press this little magnifying glass at the top right, and then search my timeline with names. And just for the, because we've already gotten another 100 viewers since I last said this, but anytime anytime I do a technical analysis on a name, I usually cover the same names pretty regularly. Like I find the ones I think have a high probability of success, and then I'll update them every week. So then you just thumb through the quoted posts, right? So if you go to like Kava and you read the most recent one, you can click on the quoted post and you can see the analysis before that and the analysis before that. But let's see what we got here. Okay, anyways, yeah. All right. So this is what I'm looking at here. You can see obvious respect here on this gold line, right? It's attempting to find support here again. All right, so just pay attention to that. You got resistance, 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 support. So four acts of resistance. So this line has been respected 4 other times. It's attempting to do it again. So that's kind of a line in the sand in this area. On top of that, you can see a inverse head and shoulders playing out on the weekly time frame. You see that? In which the target would be this supply up here in the 126 area. I'm going to put that up there because I don't know why I didn't. Let's see what the measured move would be. If that's the low, that damn near comes in line even with the measured move, guys. So you're looking at like 125 area, and 125 looks like it's about what, 90% rally, 81%. Okay, so inverse head and shoulders building up. That's number one. Now let's do a top-down analysis. Let's go to the monthly time frame. Let's see what we got here. All right, poor thing is red. That's no bueno. Let's see here. Did that show any respect? No, no, no. Nothing to see on the monthly time frame that gives you any clues. This is a little concerning. This looks like a head and shoulders. I really am not a fan of that. Let's see if these bottoms in this area of the RSI have done anything for us. This created a bottom for a rally. This one was like a higher low, created a bottom for a rally. And then this came out swinging and gave you a strong rally too. So it's trying, but this kind of doesn't look too convincing. This looks like a ABC, and this is starting to break under this. I mean, there's a lot of demand here, which could take you lower. I like Kava, but this is one of those things where I would let it play out. Maybe a small position just because it's gold line, but if we start making any lower than 860, I would just cut it and just wait for it to like really start to prove itself. Because the last thing you want it to do is this inverse head and shoulders to fail, and then this head and shoulders to play out, and then you come down here. You don't want that. Okay, now let me see if we got anything else here on my other indicators. Let's see if this got any respect. Got a small rally there, got a major rally there. Mark the bottom here, mark the bottom here. Okay, so we got something to work on here. So, you know, it's looking like a couple down days or a gap up and a down day could put the ADL line on the daily time frame down here. And historically, since November 2025, which isn't that long of a time, it's, you know, 8 months or so, it's given you multiple bottom opportunities. So it could be the bottom and just a little bit further down, or a gap up sell off. So if we start accepting under that, that's an eject button. But once again, when in doubt, you can always just wait for it to prove itself, right? Like it's got, you know, wait for a descending resistance breakout. You know, there's one descending resistance, and then here's one, and then this one's like lopsided and shit. But oh, there we go. There you go. You know, like you don't need the whole move, right? If we're going to 125,